With Priceline, everybody's a winner. That's the concept behind the spot that I'll be drawing today. It begins with a woman sitting at home checking out the Priceline app on her phone. As soon as she hits the Price Breakers button, a game show set will swing into the living room, complete with an overly cheery, tooth-sparkling host. The host invites the woman to play. We quickly learn that games are rigged, so there's no possible way to lose, because again, Priceline, everybody's a winner. Alright, so I already gave you the overall concept. The woman hits a Price Breakers button and the game show set rolls in. This particular game set has 3 large tiles on it, each showcasing a different 4-star hotel. The host says, 3 great hotels, 1 low price. It's Price Breakers. The woman asks, how do I win? The bulbs around one of the tiles lights up and the host says, you just did! We then get into some product shots, a bit of legal jargon, and cut to an end card. Pretty simple stuff. Okay, so diving right in. Here's my Price Breakers shot list. Shot 1. Open on a woman sitting in her living room on her phone. Here's a set sketch. She could be in a more natural pose. This happens to be the same angle they want me to draw. I'm just going to go ahead and drop it into my storyboard template here. So the woman's supposed to be sitting on her couch just texting away. I pulled this nifty little photo off the interweb, and I'm just going to drop it right down here on the couch. Shot 2. Angle on the Priceline app on her phone as we see the word Price Breakers. Okay, I want to pause here for a moment so I could talk about what's about to happen in frame 2. A couple of years ago, I was working in Hollywood on an AT&T spot over at a production company called Smuggler. I was drawing in-house that day and working with a director named Chris Smith, nicest guy in the world. Chris got to start directing documentaries. His first film was called American Movie, and if you haven't seen it, it is absolutely hysterical.
Take 30. Cut. You gotta watch your teeth too, because they clack a little bit when they loosen up in the mouth.
His most recent project is that Tiger King series on Netflix, which just about everybody on the planet has seen by now. Super talented and just genuinely good guy. Anywho, on this particular day, Chris had the agency hanging around in the Smuggler conference room. I was set up in a neighboring room and I was drawing there, so Chris would go chat with the agency for a while, then he'd pop into my room and ask me to draw another 4 or 5 frames, and go back and forth all day long. At some point, one of the frames he asked me to draw was a close-up of the cell phone in the woman's hand. I said, you got it, and then he added, well, how's that for an original shot, huh? I bet this is the first time you ever had to draw that one. For some reason, the joke went right over my head, and instead of laughing, I replied like an idiot, no, believe it or not, I actually draw that frame in almost every commercial. Chris stopped on his way out and said, Vin, it was a joke, obviously. I'm sure you draw that frame like 20 times a day. A little while later, I kind of stopped and said to myself, but wait, why do I draw the exact same frame day after day for every single job I get hired on? It makes no sense at all. I went home after that, took out a notebook, and started jotting down a list of things that I find myself drawing repeatedly over and over again. This very basic list eventually led to one of the most useful, even if completely obvious, little tricks that I like to employ, which allows me to get a job done in significantly less time. If you look here, you'll see a folder that I labeled Stock. Inside are a number of subfolders, each for a different category. If we open up one of these folders, we'll find a ton of cheat sheets filled with various drawings. So, for example, if I open up this Extras file, you see I've got various people drawn here. These are all background characters that I've drawn in various storyboards over the years. At the end of every job, I'll go through what I've drawn and see if there's any elements that I can cannibalize for future use. Now, in the future, anytime I need to populate scene with extras, rather than have to waste time drawing them from scratch, I just copy paste all day long. Any little thing that I can do that'll help me shave a little more time off of each job will allow me to make that much more money. Now, with that super lengthy explanation out of the way, let's jump back into our Priceline gig for shot 2, which is an angle on her phone in hand. For this, I just open up my stock file for cell phones, find a suitable shot, and drop it into my boards. Boom, done. Shot 3, single on woman as she asks herself, what's Price Breakers? Okay, so simple enough. I'm just going to sketch out a close-up of this woman looking down at her cell phone. Gonna keep it super loose because this is still the initial sketch phase. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the same photo that I used in frame 1 of the woman sitting on the couch, just so it's consistent. Make sure that her head is in the same position. She's got a little bit of a tilt going on here. Shot 4, reverse over her shoulder as the game show set comes rolling in. The host has a mic. And they've gone ahead and provided me with yet another set illustration, which will help out enormously. First, I'll loosely sketch out her position. I got her sitting here on camera right, so we'll have enough space for the set to swing in. Next, I'll just go ahead and grab that set illustration and drop that into place. Shot 5, tighter on the host as he explains the game. Alright, so again, I'm just going to keep it super loose. I'm going to block in the host, dead center, I'm gonna give him one of those really thin and long microphones that for some reason game show hosts seem to enjoy. Shot 6, back on the woman. How do I win? I'm gonna sketch her out a bit wider than her previous close-up, just to sort of break things up visually. Okay, so that's page 1. Shot 7, back to the single of the host, you just did. Okay, I could just copy and paste frame 5, and maybe I will do that later. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and sketch him a second time, so that hopefully there'll be minute changes in body language or anything that'll breathe life into him. Shot 8, camera goes to a shot of the 3 rewards across the center. Alright, so no real feat of creative strength involved here. I'm just going to grab the same set of illustrations before, resize it to match the shot description. Shot 9, camera goes to a single shot of one of the rewards. Pretty self-explanatory, I think. Copy, paste, and resize for a close-up. Shot 10, product sequence. You can take a placeholder from the script. Alright, let's open up the original agency script and try to figure out what he's referring to. Oh, before I do, I just noticed they got a great clear shot of the Price Breakers app in their board. That'll come in handy, so let me screen grab that and drop the cell phone screen back onto my old frame number 2. This way, later on, when I'm drawing up the final art, all I'll have to do is trace over the photo. Back over to the script, on page 2, I think this close-up of the phone with the app on it, that's the product shot he's referring to. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't see anything else that it could be, so again, copy and paste and drop that into my boards. And finally, we've got shot 11, Kaylee Cuoco in end frame. I'm guessing that's this woman in the circle here, so copy paste, and that will just about wrap up the initial sketching phase. Alright, so here we are in the detailed art stage. At this point, I'm essentially just going to trace over everything that I laid out in phase 1, so not really a whole lot to talk about here. For that reason, I think we're just going to speed things up and blast past this whole sequence, just so we can get to the director's notes, because I think there's some more interesting stuff there. After finishing these tighter drawings, I sent the boards out to the director and got this email in response. It essentially says, "Boards look great. I wonder if you could update the set to look like these revised ones." Attached to the email was this new set design, which is radically different than the original. So I'm now going to have to go back in and replace the set in those few shots. This is not unusual. Things like this pop up all the time. You learn to just roll with the punches. It's part of the gig. It's just about going to wrap it up for this episode. If there's anything I did here that was unclear, if you've got any questions for me, feel free to hit me up in the comments section below. And as always, if you found this video interesting or entertaining, would like to see more of them in the future, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Until next time, this is Vinny with Think and Grow Rich.